We spend about a third of our lives asleep. That means if you live to be 90 years old, you will sleep through 30 of them. Sounds like a massive waste of time, doesn't it? Imagine how much you could accomplish if you never had to sleep at all. You could learn a new language, build a business, read every book in the world. But what would happen to your body and brain if you decided to defy nature and just stopped sleeping? Spoiler alert, the consequences would be far more terrifying than you think. Welcome to another episode of What If You? Let's find out what your body is truly capable of. The first 24 hours. You've only missed one night. Nothing critical, right? You might feel a little tired, but your brain tries to compensate for the lack of sleep with a spike in dopamine. You might actually feel a sudden rush of energy and an unnatural burst of alertness. However, your reaction times have already slowed down. Studies show that driving a car after being awake for 24 hours is equivalent to having a blood alcohol concentration of 0.10%, which means you are legally drunk. Your immune system also starts to glitch, but for now, you're holding up. 2 days have passed. Your body is literally screaming for help. Your blood glucose levels drop and your metabolism is completely thrown off. You feel ravenously hungry, especially craving sugary and fatty foods. Your core body temperature drops. But the most interesting things are happening in your brain. You start losing the ability to concentrate. You forget words mid-sentence. And this is where the most treacherous phenomenon begins: microsleeps. A microsleep is a state where your brain shuts down for a period ranging from a fraction of a second to 30 seconds. You could be sitting there with your eyes wide open, but you are not seeing or processing anything. In these moments, you are incredibly vulnerable. 3 days without sleep. Congratulations, you are officially in the danger zone. Your heart rate increases and your blood pressure spikes. Your emotional state is shattered. You might burst into tears over a dropped pen or fly into a blind rage for no reason. And this is exactly when they begin. The hallucinations. Your brain, deprived of the necessary reboot during REM sleep, starts dreaming while you are awake. Ordinary shadows turn into monsters. You hear your name being called in an empty room, where you feel bugs crawling under your skin. Your logical thinking is completely shut down. Day 4 and beyond. We are now entering the territory of psychiatry. You develop what is known as toxic psychosis. The brain stops clearing out the toxic proteins that are normally flushed away during sleep. You lose touch with reality. People who have stayed awake this long often suffer from severe paranoia. They think government agents are watching them or that someone is trying to poison them. You develop false memory syndrome. You can no longer distinguish between what actually happened and what you merely hallucinated. But is it even possible to stay awake this long? In 1964, a 17-year-old high school student named Randy Gardner set a world record by staying awake for 264 hours. That is exactly 11 days. By the end of the experiment, Randy couldn't do basic math in his head because he would simply forget what he was doing halfway through the calculation. He mistook a street sign for a person and believed he was a famous football player. Fortunately, Randy didn't die and managed to fully recover after a 14-hour slumber. But does that mean sleep deprivation can't kill you? In the 1980s, scientists conducted cruel experiments on rats. The animals were kept awake indefinitely. The result was tragic. After 2 to 3 weeks, all the rats died. The cause of death was total exhaustion and severe immune system failure. Harmless bacteria ended up killing their weakened bodies. There is also an extremely rare genetic disorder called fatal familial insomnia, FFI. In this disease, misfolded proteins called prions destroy the thalamus in the brain, the region responsible for regulating sleep. The person literally loses the physical ability to fall asleep. The disease progresses over several months and tragically always results in death. This is direct proof that sleep isn't just rest, it is a fundamental biological need for survival. So, what if you stopped sleeping? In the first few days, you would become a danger to yourself and others. Your psyche would begin to crumble and reality would blend with your worst nightmares. Eventually, your body would simply refuse to function. Sleep is free medicine, your body's built-in mechanic, and a deep clean for your brain. No cup of coffee and no deadline is worth sacrificing your health. So tonight, put your phone away, turn off the lights, and let yourself enjoy a good, high-quality night of sleep. What's the longest you've ever gone without sleep? Share your stories in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another episode of What If You? Sweet dreams, and see you next time.